people are constantly raising the bar.
Sacrifices need to be made.
What would you guys say are your biggest weaknesses?
You are your enemy right now.
The success of life.
Just a fucking podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Student Side Hustle. This week I'm speaking to George Osborne. So George is a YouTuber from the UK. He makes YouTube videos about bodybuilding and sort of lifestyle stuff. So George, how did you get into this? How did this all start?
Mate, I'll be honest with you. It all started, I was watching WWE. And I was seeing bloody, who was it? Batista. And he did he jumped on the turnbuckle thing, and he did the most muscular. And I was like, wow. I saw his physique and stuff like that, and I was like, I want to be that one day. I was like, what the fuck have I just seen? I think I was about, 13, 14 at the time. And I saw these wrestlers like throwing themselves, all these muscular like dudes, they were fucking huge, and they're just throwing each other about in the ring. And I was like, wow, that's something I want to do. And it just started from there, and I was just like, wow. I had photos on my wall of them, just like cut out from magazines and stuff. In 17 now. I can actually go to the gym. I feel confident to go to the gym. I started going to the gym, started training. I was like, wow, what is going on here? I love this shit. And from there, I just continued to train. I just continued to just lift weight, and I started to notice a little bit of a difference in my physique. Not crazy amounts, but I started to feel good. And people were like recognizing, like, George, fuck me, you've had a little bit of size there.
Yeah.
And the confidence started to come out. And mate, it's a weird one, but it's just all. No one inspired me like none of these like pro bodybuilders. It was literally through WWE. Watching WWE as a child, and I was like, wow, I want to be like that.
Yeah,
it was literally insane. I don't know how I do it.
How did you make that trend? Like, what made you realize? Okay, cool. At some point, I want to step on stage. When did you like think like, okay, this is going to be a thing? Like,
I think that just came with more time in the gym, more research on like Instagram and stuff like that. See people stepping on stage, documenting it, and I was like, wow, okay, this is something I want to at least try before. I mean, I always try something, and if I don't like it, I won't do it again. Yeah. But I think this is something I want to showcase because I've been working. I work my bollocks off in the gym every day, day in, day out, 24 hours a day. I'm doing what I need to do to improve my physique, and I think, right, I want to showcase what I've done in the last 4 years of training. I want to be able to step on stage, feel proud, think this is what I've achieved. I want people to look at me and go, wow, George, that's impressive. That's impressive. You've done well there, mate. Yeah. So that's where I'm at the moment. I just want to showcase my hard work and prove to people that no matter where your starting point is, no matter how rich, how poor, how miserable your life is, you can achieve something pretty spectacular. That's my kind of mindset. And that's the plan, mate. 2019 is the plan at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. If I don't enjoy it, I won't do it again if I don't enjoy it. But I'm looking forward to definitely.
I've definitely got like a similar sort of plan. Like I want to basically compete at some point when I feel like I'm nearing getting big enough, and then like if I hate it, cool, never do it again. If I love it, cool, do it forever. Like sort of just
absolutely.
Fuck, I'm hyped, but
you don't know until you try, which is the beauty of it.
Yeah,
you do.
My thing is I've never done a cut, so it's like. I've just perma-bulked from like 53 kilos to now, which I'm like just 70 or like 71 on a good day. So it's like it's still got a long road to go, but
absolutely, mate. Like this sport takes time, consistency.
Fuck yes.
Some people don't have that. Some people can't be bothered to fucking wait a year to add a pound or two of tissue. But that's the reality of it, you know what I mean? And people try and find the shortcuts. This 6 fucking week program to build big arms is a load of bollocks. It's just time, as you already know, mate.
Yeah, it's literally like, I feel like people always want, like whenever my friends come and ask me like, oh, bro, how do I get jacked? Or how do I get I get so many girls coming to me saying, "How do I get toned?" And fuck my god, like it's not a simple thing. But I feel like people want to boil it down to, do 60 squats, body weight at home, and you're done. Like, no, you have to eat right. You have to fucking, like, actually sleep. You have to actually know what progressive overload is and apply it. Like, but I feel like it pisses me off, like, when I see people go in the gym, do, like, just the dumbest shit, and they still get, like, dope results. Like,
that's one thing that pisses me off as well, because some people are just genetically blessed and they fluff about their phone in the gym, they're leaving reps in the tank, and they're doing they're not even lifting heavy, and yet they still look 10 times better than you. That's the ugly side of things. Genetics play a huge part in this sport, and some people are just blessed with them. And then there's some of us who just work our bollocks off day in and day out and still look shit. And that's just the reality of it.
It is fucked. But it's kind of the fun of it. Like,
right, absolutely.
I want to get to the point where people look at me and are just like, holy shit, is that James? Like, what the fuck happened to that rhinoceros? Like, my god. That's literally all I want. Like, I just want to get on stage and be the only person ever with a spinal fusion to, like, be a natural pro. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely,
hyped.
man.
I'm excited for the day.
Absolutely. I believe in you, mate. I think with time, consistency, and doing what you're doing now, you'll get there, man. It might take you longer, it might take you quicker than others, but like I say, it's your journey, man. Focus on yourself. And, honestly, mate, you'll get there. Trust me.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Same to you. I feel like one thing that I really like about you is you're quite like, you know how to just focus on your shit and you just do it. When it comes to like your like whole philosophy in the gym, and like basically, if you were going to give like a little speech on like what you think are the best principles in the gym, what you think are like the things you must do to make progress, and your general philosophy and how you think it differs from like the majority of philosophies?
I think my opinion has changed in the last year or so. Like to be fair, actually, I started logbooking when I first went to gym. I have old logbooks from like 2014 upstairs where I was just doing like a certain amount of sets and reps and whatever exercise. Yeah. But one thing I have to tell people, and I always say, you have to be getting progressively stronger over a period of time for your muscles to grow. You can't expect to be lifting the same old weight, the same old reps, and have a bigger chest. It's just not how it is. And that's one thing I try and push to people is get a lot of data from your training. Also, as well as training your diet, your well-being and stuff like that, get a lot of data. Write things down. How many hours of sleep you're getting. What is your breakdown looking like? And from all that data, you can set up your own training program, diet plan. You can do everything with all that data. I've been a big believer recently in collecting data from the gym and outside the gym and everything you do in day-to-day life. Like I said, you have to be getting progressively stronger. There's no doubt about it, and you have to be fucking doing what others are not doing. Like I say, bodybuilding can be really, really like mentally challenging, especially when you go in the gym. You can't. You feel like. Like leg days, stuff like that, people are fucking it's legs again, you know what I mean? Like you have to prepare yourself for kind of, right, I need to ensure I might not be the strongest in the gym, I might not be the biggest, but one thing I can do, and I always say this in my videos, you can be the hardest working person. You need to do that. You need to stand out. And I always make sure that people, you have to, like I say, you have to be getting stronger, as simple as that. You can't be lifting the same old weight because you're just going to be looking the same. And you just got to find what works best for you, because I have clients at the moment that are on a certain amount of volume per week and they work quite well on it. I have others that can't do what others are doing, and that's the good thing about bodybuilding. It's a very unique sport, so there's never a wrong answer. It just takes time and finding what works actually best for you.
Yeah.
And might not be what you do and what I do. And just because I'm doing it a specific way and you're doing it a specific way, doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just unique. So it's all about just finding what works for yourself,
Yeah,
mate.
I definitely think like once you've got the principles down and you understand like, Eric Helms said like a great way of saying it. He basically said like, okay, with other experts, he basically says that they agree on like 99% of stuff, but then the ways to achieve it is always, a lot of the time it's different, or like different methods are different, but a lot of the time the principles will stay the same. And I feel like that's one of the like really cool things about it, is I feel like you can actually individualize it. Like I feel like in the last probably year, I've like realized like how far I can go just by like increasing my knowledge. And it's like people who like, I feel like the natural scene is definitely the best when it comes to knowledge. Even if like there's more money in the unnatural scene, it's like in the natty scene you have to have everything on point to make progress. So everyone just knows everything, and it that shit blows my mind how much people know. And it's still like like to my friends I'm like an expert, but to like people in the like natural bodybuilding scene I'm just like normal guy. And it's like the amount of stuff that people know is just like, that shit blows my mind. And I feel like at some point I want to be like that and just know that much. When it comes to like learning and like all that sort of stuff, do you think there can be value in a university pathway for that? Or do you think the majority of it should just be done online, should be learning through others, should be just absorbing all the information through experience? Or how do you personally like to go about learning as much as possible?
I think if you asked me that question 20 years ago, I'd probably say university. But now I would tell you probably just the internet, mate. I'll be totally. It depends. I mean, if you want to be a scientist, if you want to be a doctor and stuff like that, university, probably a higher education is something you probably need to consider. But like running a business or anything like that, do you actually need a degree? Do you actually need a university degree for that? Like I always say, it's all good you having this knowledge, but if you haven't got the money for business, you ain't got no chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for what I want, especially in fitness and stuff like that, I've probably learned a lot more through just doing actually at university. I'll be honest with you, because university is very basic.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's not for what I did, which was fitness management and personal training at university. It's very just like, it's not looking into bodybuilding at all. It's just very. It was mainly through like losing weight. I'll be honest with you. Most things were just how to lose weight
and like how to like help people do that.
Absolutely. Although I've read a load of academic research and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Academic research is great, but at the same time, it's a load of fucking bollocks as well. Especially from a body perspective, because you'll notice that the participants within a research study are just average normal people. Rarely ever find studies look into actual 200-pound bodybuilders. They rarely ever do. You know what I mean? They look at just average 140-pound geezer.
Like they're not testing Jeremy Buendia.
Absolutely. And yeah, research can be great sometimes, but after time it can be a load of bollocks. Going back to the question, I think, like 20 years ago and stuff like that, probably a little bit different, but now, definitely not. I've learned so much more from just doing my own research, signing up to those websites and reading forums, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos. I've gained more knowledge and also just applying it into my own training from what I've learned.
I feel like it's like I feel like university has a place, but it's like I feel like for the especially with kids my age, this is what pisses me off. Is so many of them don't know what to do with their lives. They have no direction, no purpose, so they go straight into university, and it's like I get it's like life experience or whatever, but you can get life experience in so many ways. I feel like a lot of people go into the trap of either getting a job and just doing like a normal job that you don't need experience for, and just doing that for like a few years and then going to uni or like something like that. But I feel like it's like the whole point of this podcast is basically to say like, hey, get a side hustle, like do something interesting, like start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, start a company. Like the amount of people that I've seen start side hustles and then their like overall life happiness just skyrocket is mind blowing. And it's just like, I feel like that's where, and I feel like if you can do university and a side hustle, I feel like that's a pretty good combination as well. Or even work and a side hustle, I feel like, because then it's like you can fuel your side hustle. Fuck, I love that shit. Yeah. But I feel like with university, like say if you want to be someone like Eric Helms, then university is probably the way, because you kind of need a PhD to do what he does, sort of thing. But it's like if you want to be like, say if you want to be like AJ Morris, it's like, I don't know if he went to university for that, but I don't think that's where he's got his knowledge. Like, I think you probably know AJ a bit better. Do you know, and also yourself, how did you like, when it came to like going to coaching, like, what were the first steps that you made? Because I feel like it's like, I don't think you need a degree for that. It's like you just need experience, knowledge, and you need to have actually done it.
Absolutely, mate. The first thing I did was I went round and I simply just asked coaches how they started doing their things. Like I asked AJ, I was honest with AJ. I was like, right, I'm looking to start. That's why I did a podcast with him. He's like, right, I'll get you on a podcast and I'll answer your questions. And he's helped me. I'll be honest with you, AJ's helped me get to where I am now. Like I'm in a privileged position where I can work from home at the moment. I don't have to go to work at all. I just work from home. And that's pretty much through AJ helping me getting things started. And my biggest advice is just go and like nowadays, it's just, although it's great doing research and stuff like that, is just go and ask people that are successful at doing it and get ideas off them and see if they can help in any way. Because you'll be surprised that just asking a simple question, you'll get a lot of information from. And one thing I've learned is, like, luckily with me, I have an audience. I have people that watch my videos. So I'm in a good position, if you know what I mean. I wasn't in a position, right, where am I going to get my clients from? What am I going to do? And through, like, people watching my videos and stuff like that, they already know what to expect from what I provide. That they know I'll be quite harsh on them and straightforward and honest. And people like that, you know what I mean? Like, people watch me. All clients watch my YouTube videos because they like the style of my videos, they like who I am, and they like just straight up answers. No, mate, you're not doing that. Yes, you do. You need to do that kind of stuff.
There's no like beating around the bush and just being like soft, because I feel like if I got a coach and they were like, oh mate, do whatever you want, like it's fine, oh it's okay, you fucked up, it's fine, like I feel like your coach should be like, nah bro, you fucked up. Like I don't think they should be like rude or like make you feel like shit. But I feel like as a coach, how do you like tread that line between like keeping it professional and keeping it personal?
I always like to all my clients and my friends. I get personal with my clients. I just find it makes everything a lot easier. I feel like if you can get comfortable around with everything, then our relationship will be so much better. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go absolutely crazy. My clients, you had a cheat meal, oh my fucking god, I'm kicking off at you and stuff like that. I'll be like, mate, at the end of the day, you're paying me for my service. If you don't want to follow that's why I always ask people straight away when I do like my consultation calls and stuff like that. I ask them, are you coachable? Because it's all good me giving you these diet plans, these training plans, all this kind of stuff. But if you're not going to follow it, you're wasting my time and you're wasting your time as well. And I just kind of, I look at it as you're just, I don't know, it's just very, I want to be as personal as possible with people and I want them to be honest with me and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're spending your money on my service. So I expect you to kind of, if you want to get the most out of it, I expect you to kind of listen to what I say and do. You know what I mean? What I kind of say, as bad as it is and stuff like that, and bad as it's not as it is, as bad as it sounds. It's just kind of you're paying for that service, and if you want the most out of it, then honestly trust what I'm giving you.
And it's sort of like, I feel like it's like I think it's like if someone's telling you to do something and you don't want to do it or you don't understand, I think, and if you've paid them to coach you, then I think I think you should almost just do it anyway, unless you really, really disagree. And I definitely think you shouldn't not do it and then not tell them, because then it's like their stats are messed up and they don't know what variables to change.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and I will never give a client something that I've never tried in myself. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't get someone to do 1,000 carbs a day that they've never done. I've never done, or something. You know what I mean? Something stupid that I've never tried before. Because, like I say, I always just if I don't know something or I don't have the knowledge, I won't recommend it, or I won't without me trying it myself. Like, I use myself to experiment on in regards to training, diet, and nutrition, and I kind of use that on my clients. I won't do something on my client that I've honestly ever done before myself, if you know what I mean, or not done any research either. Like that.
What about, could we touch on like your style of training? Because it's like, I feel like the culture that I like that you sort of fit into, it's like I feel like you have a really good style of training, and like I really think for so many people, the moment that they try it, they would just fall in love with it. Because like recently I've sort of done more your sort of style of training, and like probably for the last 4 months that I've really done that, and it's like I feel like that has really changed it for me, because the whole tracking thing and keeping things working and keeping it progressive. I love that shit. How would you describe your training, and like why do you do it that way?
I'll be honest with you. It started through I signed up to Train by JP website, Jordan Peters.
Yeah.
And he brought out a logbook, and he brought out this kind of low volume, high frequency approach. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to try it. And if I'm honest with you, over the last year, the amount of people that are doing a JP kind of style training of like push-pull legs, like 6 years ago or whatever, when I started training, wasn't as popular as what it is now, if you know what I mean. I feel like so many people have been inspired by this kind of style of training, and I thought, honestly, I'll give it a try. I was open to trying new things, experiment on my training and stuff. And I honestly, getting a logbook out in my sessions, people laugh and stuff like that, look at me like you're a dickhead and shit, but getting a logbook out and tracking my training and trying to progress that 2.5 kilo is the best thing I've ever actually done. Although logbooking is great, it keeps you motivated and seeing progression is good. It can, obviously, with all pros, it comes with like the cons, if you want to say that. And
what would you say the cons are?
I think for me, if I don't hit, for example, if my flat barbell bench press was 100 kilos for 6, and I wanted to get 8 this week because I got 6 last time, wanted to improve it, and I somehow got 5. That really tough for me, and sometimes I will allow that logbook to determine how well my session's going to be. So I've lost a rep already on the first exercise. I'm assuming this workout's fucking dreadful. And sometimes the best thing to do when that occurs for me is just close that fucking logbook if you're going to think like that. We need to take into consideration, how was your sleep that night? How was your hydration? Did you get all your meals before? Was you stressed? There's so many factors that play a role in regards to how well your session's going to be. But for me, if you're just going to determine how well your actual workout's going to be from just your first exercise, we'll just shut the fucking logbook and throw it away. I wouldn't let that determine how, because you'll find that sometimes with me, especially from me, I'll find that I might have one or two exercises that might be off, but the rest of the session might pick up and it turns into like a 9 out of 10 session. But that's the biggest thing, is don't let that logbook determine how well your sessions are going to be. Because if you're going to do like that, and if you live by your logbook, for example, we know that isolations are going to not progress as well as compounds. It's just how it is. Like, you're going to progress 5 kilos every time on isolation. If we constantly strive for progressions on isolations, you'll notice that your form was going to break down. And the goal for me with a isolation movement, we want to kind of increase blood flow. I typically work in a little bit higher rep ranges. And if I'm trying to progress that all the time and not actually feel what's working, not actually get as much blood flow as possible, then I sometimes feel like, right, this isn't good. Like, I'm now getting like 6 reps on a pec fly, and it's doing fuck all for me when I really wanted to get 15 to 20 reps. You know what I mean?
What is the reason that
great.
I know, carry on.
I said, don't get me wrong, the logbooks are great, but like I said, it comes with a downside. You live by the logbook 24/7. You know what I mean?
And then,
but anyway, what were you going to say?
So, what is your reason for sticking to the higher rep ranges? Because personally, for myself, I've found I really enjoy like 5 to 8. I used to do a lot of 5 times 5 because I don't know why the fuck. Because I thought, strength, etc. But I found I've made the most gains in the sort of 5 to 8 and then like the 10 to 15 and sort of combining those two. How do you go about picking your rep ranges and why? Or like, do you find it's a very personal thing, or do you think people should stay in different rep ranges? Or
I think we should get stronger across numerous amounts of rep ranges. I don't think one specific rep range is going to build you a better chest. Like I work in 2 rep ranges on my main compound. So a barbell bench press, for example, I will work in one set of like a 5 to 8 rep range, and I'll work in another set of a 10 to 12 rep range. And the goal for those ranges is just to increase the load that I'm using over time. And eventually, I'm 100% sure if you give it 6 to 8 months, you might not notice a difference in your chest, like muscular-wise. But if you probably get the measurements out, measuring tape, you probably find that you've gained half an inch, an extra inch. I promise you, if you're getting stronger at a 2 rep range, I find it very easy. 2 rep ranges is very kind of straightforward. For me, get them both and happy days. If you add 30 kilos to your bar bench press, you will see some sort of difference. With isolation work, I typically find if I go heavy on an isolation work, I'm focusing more on actually, for example, a pec fly, I'm more focused on actually moving the weight, if you know what I mean. Whereas if I reduce the load I use and work, for example, within a 12 to 15 rep range, it actually allows me to use what I actually want to use. So, for example, a pec fly, I want to be using my chest. I want that first initiation, that movement, the first bit which occurs within that movement is my chest. I don't want it to be front delts. And I know if I went anywhere between like 5 to 8 reps on a pec fly, I'm simply just going to be moving weight from A to B, and I'm going to finish. I want to finish that set, and that goes with everything I do. I want to sit up from that set, and I think, fuck me, I felt that in my chest. I don't want to be going, fuck me, I felt that in my back, and I just did a pec fly. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that. So that's what I typically do. I typically work on I like doing, for example, on pec flies, like more fluffier work, I like to call it, and Jordan Peters like to call it more fluffier work. That's where I got it from. I like to do like more muscle rounds, rest pause sets, and on my compound movements, I solely focus on those 2 rep ranges, getting stronger in both, and I let the isolation be more the pumpy blood kind of work, and that's worked for me. And again, that might work for you, that might not work for matey boy who's listening to this, but that's what's worked for me, and that's just through trial and error and doing my research, and giving it a go.
Yeah,
it might not work for anyone else, but that's kind of how I summarize that.
I feel like I quite like that approach as well, because it's like you get to experience both rep ranges, one just from an enjoyment perspective, but then also from a hypertrophy perspective. I think it's pretty good. Like, I don't know too much about the science behind it, but it's like I think you shouldn't, like, there's a few people I know that like want to do like really high rep ranges, and I think it gets to a point where you're not like doing too much hypertrophy wise. But I think within sensible rep ranges, you should have some variety, and I think
absolutely
that brings a lot of, one, like fun, two, also like just actual different stimulus, because it's like it's almost a different feeling, like completing a compound and then completing like a compound at like 5 reps and then compound at 20 reps with RPE 9. Like, they're gonna feel quite different. Like,
absolutely, yeah. I totally agree with you, mate.
One thing that I'd like to ask is, what about, because I don't know when this was on one of your stories the other day. Correct me if I'm wrong with your like sentence, but it was something like saying like, I think you were having a rant, and it was about you're not going to grow shit in 6 weeks, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how long do you think you should, like, say if you're comparing your physique over a time frame, what sort of time frame would you look at, and why do you think, how long do you think people should wait? Because I remember, like, say when I first started lifting, I saw results by like week 2, but I feel like that was mainly just that wasn't actually progress. It was mainly just weight gain. But I was like, I literally looked like so anorexic, like it was fucked. But yeah,
I think I don't think I never give people a specific time. Like I said, everyone's different. You know what I mean? Like, I got, if I'm honest, my gains in the first 6 months were probably the best gains I'll ever make.
Yeah.
And that's going to be different. Like I say, it's very individual, this sport. There's no like perfect time. I don't believe you can make a crazy difference within 6 weeks. Like, you see these 6 week training programs that you can buy online off these IFBB Pro. That's a load of bollocks. That's
some bullshit. You're
not going to make your arms are not going to grow fucking 5 inches in 6 weeks. That's a bollocks.
Give it like 5 years for like 1 inch.
Yeah, if people that shit, then you need to open your eyes up a little bit. But I never give. Everyone's different. So, for example, there's people who got better results than what I did in a couple. Like, for example, you notice difference in a couple. I probably noticed a difference within like the first. I think it was like 3 months. I started training. I think, wow, actually, I noticed a difference now. Yeah. And then people might notice 6 months, people might notice 9 months, it might be a year for someone. Everyone's very unique. So I would never tell people, right, you're gonna get results in 6 weeks. I promise you. You're gonna get absolutely amazing. You're gonna build an extra inch in your arms in 6 weeks, because that's not reality, and that's a load of bollocks. Yeah. But I assure you, you be consistent with whatever you're doing and whatever your training is, your diet is, and give it the time required, you will have some sort of change in your physique, whether that, like I said, whether that's 6 months, a year, or 2 years. There shouldn't be a time frame on any of this bollocks. Yeah. And like I said, like buying these programs and stuff, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I feel like that pisses me off, because like when my friends who don't do bodybuilding or like know anything about the gym come to me, it's like there's so many ideas in people's heads about like what they can achieve, and I feel like there's still people who don't understand like IFBB is like swimming and tren, like, and I feel like it's mate. Then people compare a natural bodybuilder to an unnatural one, and they're like, holy shit. But then I think that comes with its own problem of like not believing what you can actually do naturally, which like that shit's like, it's almost heartbreaking, because it's like people give up before they realize their actual potential. Like I was thinking, I literally thought, I can't believe I fucking thought this, but it's like, I thought like a year into lifting that I had like done 99% of it. And it's like, it it was just like there was so many things that I needed to learn to grow, and it's like once I learned those things, I started growing again.
Yeah,
and I feel like so many people will get to the point where they've had all their noob gains, and then it's like they'll need to start actually putting in a lot of work to like make progress. And I feel like that's when a lot of people will either just give up or be like, oh, I can just maintain this, but it's like in reality there's so much more you can do. And I think like it's fine if you don't have aspirations to be it, or like don't want to like get an insane physique, but it's like if you do, it's like you can't just be giving up, or you can't just be like, oh yeah, I must just have like I must have just be done, like, but in reality there's like 20 other things that you're not even thinking about that you can do.
Yep. Mate, honestly, I totally agree with you. And like I said, that's the internet for you. Like the internet has kind of preached this kind of look that you can achieve. Like we all see it. If you just go on the explore bit, you'll find someone who's absolutely fucking huge. Yeah. And in reality, you're not going to look like that. Like I don't know about yourself, but if you go to a natural bodybuilding show, it'll open your eyes up, because a majority of people look look shit compared to what they do online. Yeah. And fuck me, like you'll go to a natural bodybuilding federation show, and they will look what natural bodybuilding is, and it's not what you see on the internet. Yeah. And we're sucked into what we want to look like on the internet, like again, magazines and shit like that. Everyone comes across as fucking absolutely huge, but you go to a natural bodybuilding show, even the top pro bodybuilders who are natural don't look all that. They don't look like
you wouldn't think like
pro.
Yeah, you literally wouldn't look at them and be like, holy fuck, until they take the shirt off, or like until they're like shredded on stage, then maybe. But still, it's like I feel like everyone's been desensitized.
Absolutely, mate. They look normal in a t-shirt.
Yeah, it's like, and it's fucking crazy. Like, and then people like when you say bodybuilding, like when I tell people that I want to compete someday, they think like, oh, you're tiny, like you're not huge, but it's like that's natural bodybuilding. Like you're gonna look like if you're lean, you're gonna look small in a shirt. If you're fat, you might fill out the shirt. Like that's just how it is, and it's like. And what? Like, be okay with it, sort of thing. But yeah, could we touch on like how do you go about like? Because I think one thing that pisses me off is like when I tell someone that I want to compete, and I'm like dead set, I'm going to like literally win whatever show I compete in, or just like blow people away, because it's like. I just want it really fucking bad, and it's like I'm going to bulk until I'm ready to fucking crush it, and it's like, then you get people saying, haha, like, are you sure? Like, you're small, blah, 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 you can't do it, etc. Like, I don't know if you've had too many people say that, but I'm sure it's like, I think everyone does at some point. Like, how do you deal with those sort of comments and those sort of people who say, like, bruh, what are you doing? Like, and how do you sort of respond to that?
My response is I'll fucking get rid of them out of my life. Like, if I don't want that negative, I've kind of, as I've got older, I've kind of, like I said, my circle, that saying, your circle gets smaller, and it does. Like, I want people around me that are willing to support me. I want people, like, when I first started doing YouTube, for example, I had a camera, my mates fucking laughed at me, and they're not my mates anymore because I don't want that shit in my life. I have more people on the internet that support me with what I do than my actual mates. And I want people around me that are willing to support me. And if someone's going to critique me saying, George, you've got no fucking chance on stage, you're too small to do this, you're too small to that, fuck you. I don't want you in my life. You know, I'm not interested in that kind of shit. I want people to go, come on, George, let's try our best. Let's do this. We're going to impress and stuff like that. But that's the way I do things now. Like, if you're not willing to support me, I don't want you in my life,
and I feel
don't care.
More people. I wish more people had that outlook, because I think like it's the moment you start like actually cutting negative people out. Fucking hell, it's good. Like now it's like there's only like 3 people who I would say like apart, like outside family, I would call like people I would trust with anything. And it's like, when you think about it, that's a really small number. And it's like,
absolutely.
But I feel like there's not going to be many people who are going to be like, bro, you can do it. Like, good job. And it's like, because I don't know. I don't know why people don't just support each other, like in general. But like, I don't know. Like, I hate how negative cunts are nowadays. Like, everyone just wants to fucking complain. And it's like, holy shit, just be fucking happy. Like, shit's like...
Yeah, it's just...
There's no need for it.
That's Oh yeah, mate, I totally agree. That's what I spoke about that on. I made like an Instagram post the other day. Like, just support each other, man. We're like a family in this industry. We're all trying to get the same goal. We're trying to build muscle and stuff like that. Just support, like help each other like that. If that comes with diet, nutrition, posing, fucking help each other. Don't just sit there and just pick someone apart and be horrible about it. Just like. Yeah, everyone's different. Let them do. If they be, like I say, if they want to be a little bit weird and do something which you don't, let them fucking do it. It's not your life. It's their life. If they want to post weird on Instagram, let them do it. It's their thing. They can do whatever they want. And people are too worried and they think, they just start hating, disliking videos and all that kind of shit, blocking people. Yeah. Don't follow them if you don't like it. Simple as that. Just that's my mindset. I won't watch people that I don't like. If I don't like someone's video, I won't fucking watch them. I won't. I won't watch them. I don't like shit. I won't go. I'm going to dislike that video now because I don't like them. Yeah, it's just like, don't watch them. Like, I don't follow you if I'm not interested in what you got to post.
And I feel like the thing is,
you do your, I'll do mine.
Yeah, like I feel like people are getting more and more negative, but then it's like people are like also getting more and more depressed. So it's like, that's a fucking bad trend. Like, oh my God, like, and I feel like it just pisses me off because it's like, I feel like mental health has never been worse, but people are still cunts. Like, I feel like in the media you always see like people saying like, oh, support each other, blah blah blah, equal rights, etc. But it's like people are still like on a day-to-day basis, especially. I don't know if it's just kids in high school nowadays, but like so many people just are so negative. And it's like, why the fuck? I just don't get it. I can't fucking comprehend it. Like, it just pisses me off. I just don't get how people can like, even like when people diss themselves, like for a joke, it's like, it's not funny. Like, just like fucking support yourself. Like, like I hate this fucking trend of like self-deprecating humor. Like on Facebook, all I see now is like memes about, oh, haha, I'm so lazy, or haha, I am so ugly. Like, what? Why? Like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. I totally agree.
It's honestly just, I don't fucking get it, and like, oh my, I don't get why the people do it. Like, I guess. Like, I think the goal is meant to be like, oh, I'm so humble. But it's like, it doesn't look humble. It looks like, now it's almost mainstream to be like self-deprecating. And it's like, I can't tell you like the amount of talks I've had with people where they've literally told me something negative about themselves. And I'm just like, why do you say that? Like just fucking appreciate yourself. Like,
I mean, the way I see it, there's always someone in a worse position than what you are. There's someone out there that can't drink fucking water. Someone out there who can't eat food. Some people have to walk 5 miles just to get a fucking water. And there's so many in worse off position, and you're worrying about fucking how ugly you look today. Fuck off, you know what I mean?
Like holy shit.
People see themselves every day, you know what I mean? Like, fucking get over it, man. You're not ugly. Just because no one finds you attractive, there's someone out there that'll find you attractive. Just because fucking mate thinks you're ugly doesn't mean you're ugly. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like, it doesn't. I feel like even if you have an issue, like either like just accept it and work over it, or like I get that shit's hard, but it's like shit could be way fucking worse. Like, I feel like what's made me realize that is like when I was 12, I had like a spine surgery, and like. At the time, I was like, oh, fuck this surgery, I'm going to be so crippled. But it's like, in reality, without the surgery, I couldn't walk by like the age I'm at now. So it's like, I don't know, maybe that's why I like hate all this negative shit, because it's like, I don't get how people can't be fucking grateful. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, oh my.
There's probably someone out there right now waiting for the same exact surgery that what you've had.
Exactly.
But they've been waiting years for it, and they've never had the opportunities. Like I say, you always kind of got to look on that side of. There's someone out there that is fucking absolutely crying to have that surgery, literally. That what you've had.
Like, I've literally had messages from people in Egypt where they can't get the surgery, and where in like America where it's literally not funded, and it literally costs $500,000. So it's like,
wow,
what are you gonna do? Buy a house or get surgery? Like, do you want to breathe properly and walk, or have a house? Like, and then people have the audacity to like complain about dumb shit that doesn't fucking matter. Oh my god, this shit riles me up so much, because it's like, how can people just be dicks still? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, you summed up nice. Yeah, fucking.
Could we touch on?
It's just how it.
Yeah. Could we touch on like, because I know you did a video on like your mental health experience in university, and that's something that I would like to touch on. Like, how can you explain a little bit of it? And like, the thing is with it, it's hard to give advice because it's so individual. Like, I had a little period, probably maybe a year, 6 months, where I couldn't see a better future occurring. Like, I thought that I would be nothing, and I literally thought that I would just become like a useless like sack of shit. And now it's like, now I can't even understand how I felt that way, but it's like, I feel like, and the feeling of being like actually feeling that is so, like, I think a good analogy is like the dark cloud that just follows you, and it's so fucking hard. Like, could you explain like your like story and like your take on it, and then like what would your advice be to others, or like how did you personally get out of it?
Okay, so it started obviously when I went to university. I thought I have the opportunity to move away here, start a kind of fresh start. So I moved away about just over 100 miles away from where I am now, about an hour or two drive, depending on how the day and shit, whatever traffic was. And my first year was great because obviously I started meeting new people, socialising quite a lot, going out quite a lot, because first year at university is just the piss up, really. It's just having a laugh and all that kind of. Then I met some good friends that I moved with a house to in the second year. There were 3 of us in total, and that all started off great. Like, obviously when you went back to uni and that, you would like socialise with people again. But then it got to a stage like 6 months into uni where they would start going home at the weekends, and one of my mates got a girlfriend, and my other mate used to go out quite a bit and get boozy and stuff, and that wasn't for me. I was so into my bodybuilding and stuff like that. I was like, no, I don't want to go out quite often. And that left me in a situation where I was just, right, I've only got really 3 or 4 friends in this local area, and I'm sitting here home alone. What the fuck am I actually going to do?
Right.
Over time, each weekend, and I used to sit in on my own, and I got kind of used to my own company. I thought, right, I'll just get used to this, like. And it got to a stage where each week it kept occurring, and it just made me lonely, mate. It just made me. I sit there and just debate, like when you're on your own, you've got nothing to do. Not nothing to do. Obviously, I still had uni work and stuff like that to do. It's uni's quite stressful at times and all that kind of bollocks. But when you kind of sit there on your own for hours on end, you start fucking thinking about shit in your head. You start going a bit weird. Like, we all do it at night before we go to bed. We speak to ourselves in the head all the time. And it just started playing. I just got lonelier. And I started hiding myself away. And then my confidence went downhill because obviously I socialise with people and speaking to girls was an absolute nightmare because I just thought I'm just going to get rejected here. I just had a negative mindset on things.
Yeah.
And then second year finished, and then I come back home, and I was kind of back to normal for about 2 months or so. Then I went back to uni, but this time round, I was just living with random people that I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
That was to like what my mate stayed at home. He went back at home because he was living next to the city that was where my uni was based.
Yeah.
And my other mate decided to live with his other mate, which left me on my own. I was thinking, where the fuck am I going to stay now? Because I haven't got many friends. So I had to live with random people that I didn't even get along with.
Yeah.
And that caused me again to just sit in my room, hide myself away, tiptoe about. Yeah. And it used to send me crazy. I used to curl up and cry. I used to sit by a window and just look down at the floor, and it really became an issue.
Yeah.
And when you're in that situation, you don't know that it's an issue until you kind of get out of that. Like when I look back now, I'm thinking, fucking hell, George, that was quite an issue.
Yeah.
But at the time, I thought it was fine. I generally thought it was fine. Until I thought, fuck it, you know what? I'll just make a YouTube video on it.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that were in the same situation as me was quite overwhelming. I was thinking, wow, because I thought I was the only one that's going through this. I thought uni, as everyone knows, uni's a piss up. You go out every day, you get drunk, you socialise, and that is true. But no one really showcases the side which I felt, if you know what I mean. I've never really seen depression or loneliness from going to university. I've never seen that on social media because, let's be honest, I've said this before, no one posts negativity on fucking social media. They just want to see happiness.
Yeah, no one's posting that they like failed their exam. No one's posting like, oh, I fucked this shit up. Like, I'm lonely. I have no friends. Like, no one does that.
Absolutely, and no one gives a fuck. No one wants to read depressing shit. If you know what I mean.
Exactly.
No one reads how you are about you. No one cares about that. They want to know that you fucking jumped off a 20-foot. You got pissed. You jumped off a 20-foot roof and broke your leg. Right. People want to read shit. They don't want to read. And the best thing I did was I made a YouTube video, and luckily I had an audience that would obviously watch my videos. Yeah. And obviously, at the time I was at university, I was documenting what I was doing at university through fitness and stuff. And I wasn't the only one. I had hundreds of people going through the same thing which I was doing. Yeah. And I was thinking, because I thought I was the only one at the time, like I said. And that made me feel really like, as bad as it sounds, it made me kind of really happy that I wasn't the only one going through it, you know, as bad as that sounds. Yeah. I felt glad I wasn't the only one.
Because then it's sort of like, this is not my weird problem that I can't solve. It's absolutely. Like, this has been solved before, sort of thing.
Yeah. And I started like speaking, people come to me for advice, stuff like that. And the more I speak about it, the more people come to me in regards to actually helping me, giving me like ideas on what I should do. And I overcome it. It was just that I would say I suffered deeply with depression, but I went through a stage of quite bad depression. Like I would never showcase me crying. I would never put a video up on YouTube of me crying in my bed or sitting by my window looking down at the floor, because no one wants to see that shit. That's the reality of it. Yeah. But speaking about my issue was the best thing I ever did. Speaking, actually being brave enough to speak about it and thinking, actually, like I said, I'm not the only one that's going through this. It made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I feel like it's like that. It's such a hard topic to talk about because it's like people, especially dudes, don't want to seem like a pussy, or they don't want to seem like so many dudes are so scared to just like be emotional. But I think people equate being emotional with being like weak or being clingy or being like annoying, and it's like there's not many dudes I know where they're like extremely emotional and extremely sensitive, and that's not like a negative quality about them. I don't associate them with negativity. It's like usually if you're honest and emotional, people respond extremely well, because it's like nowadays everything is like, I hate to dig on social media because I think social media is a great thing, but it's like everything on social media is like, oh, look at my happy little life. But then it's like you show, like, literally some nights out I've been talking to a random person and they've told me like the most fucked up shit, and it's like, you're not going to see that on social media. And like, people love to have genuine conversations where you're both vulnerable, and it's like,
Yep.
I feel like telling your story, like, it's like that shows people that, hey, like, I have problems, and it's like people, like, everyone's got their shit, but it's like most people don't admit their shit, or they don't like even face it. And it's like, I feel like just actually the telling of the story and like all that is like, that helps people out quite a lot, because like there's nowhere else you can see it. Like, it's very hard. Like, if you're depressed, a lot of the time I think nowadays is almost due to social media. Like, not really, but sort of. Like, that was my experience. Like, I found when I was like quite sad, I would look on Snapchat, I'd look on Instagram, and I'd be like, oh, look at everyone else having fun. And then it's like, you wouldn't see, well, that's like, that would be almost my only resource for social interaction when I was like in that sort of stage. And it's like, I would always just watch YouTube all day, and it's like, if I saw a YouTube video like yours, it's like, that's like almost like a beacon of hope, saying like, hey, like, not everything is perfect, like, shit happens, sort of thing.
Of course, mate. Of course. But like I said, it's difference between showcasing it, and some people, like, you don't really see celebrities showcase the negativity because they know they'll get stick for fucking in the papers or on the news or shit like that. That's where it's all come from.
It's pretty fucking sad, to be honest.
Oh yeah, of course. And we need to. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, honestly, mate, that's just.
I feel like
things change.
Yeah, there's no need to like dwell on it, but I feel like the problem, I don't know, I feel like everyone now is seeing what everyone else is doing 24/7, and it's like, now everyone's trying to be like everyone else, and then no one's, like, not many people are individuals. And it's like, I think that's so hard, because it's like, I think the moment someone figures out what they want to be and what they want to do, and like the kind of things that they actually give a shit about, it's like that is so, like, so nice, because it's like, then you have something to work towards, and you have a passion, and like very, very few times is the passion negative. Like, it's usually a positive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, that's kind of the message of this podcast, is like, I want to inspire people to like go out and like just start that thing that they thought about. Like, I remember when I was in year 13 of high school, I thought like, hey, I want to start a fucking blog. And then I did, and it, like, my blog didn't do shit. I got like 3 views, but it's like, that inspired me to start the podcast, and now the podcast has completely changed my life, because I get to like message someone on Instagram, talk to them on Skype, and like have a connection with them, and it's like, it blows my mind that happens. Like, how have you found like starting your like side hustle and like YouTube and all that? How have you find has that influenced like you and you as a person?
I think that's a hard question for me. I just feel like it's hard to explain. I'll be honest with you, mate. It's hard to explain. I just feel like if I don't know. I kind of, in a way, I don't look at it like that. I just do it just to. I don't know. I just found the enjoyment from it, and just found myself like I'm completely different now than what I was before I did it. I mean, obviously a lot more confident, because obviously I can speak on camera and shit like that. But it's just, I don't know, like having the people then like now who watch me and message me every day, it honestly just inspires me to keep like. It's hard to, I generally can't explain. To you, it's very hard for me to explain. It's just,
it's just like, I feel like it's like, once someone does that, it's like that, like, it's changed the way I interact with everyone. Maybe it's just because it's like mine is podcasting, but it's like, now when I talk to anyone, it's like I just love conversations, because like you can take conversations out of small talk. I want to start a war against small talk, because it's like the moment you're out of that, you get into good conversations that mean something and have impact. Fuck, definitely. I love that shit.
But I generally can't really answer that question.
It's a weird question, but I don't know. It's just I keep saying I don't know because I don't know. Okay. So I think we'll probably end it soon. I've got one final question. So, what would be your main piece of advice for the person who, like, basically they want to start that side hustle, they want to start that thing, they want to do something, they want to do something more than just what they're doing, but they don't know how, they don't know why, and they just they might not even know the thing that they want to do. What would your advice be to that person?
My advice is just research, ask around, ask people that are doing it. It doesn't matter. I mean, if it's into whatever you're doing, clothing, ask people how they started, and just kind of. There's so much online now that you can learn through, like I said, podcasts, videos, forums, websites, everything. Do your research, and ideas will come to you. And sometimes I think a lot of us, we force it upon us. Like, this is completely a little bit off topic, but if you keep consistently looking for a relationship or a partner, you'll find that it won't come to you. You'll find that you'll still be single. But whereas if you kind of let it come naturally, you'll find that actually this relationship's kind of, it's just falling into place. It's just falling quite naturally. And that's sometimes with things like that. Like, it sometimes comes naturally to you, what you want to do. And my advice is just keep on top of your research, keep up to date with new things coming out. Ask around. That's one of the biggest things. Like, if you want to start a business or if you want to start YouTube, ask people what they did, ask people what software they use, ask people what camera they started with, and just do it. That's the thing. Just do it. Fucking just start. Just honestly, no matter how shit you think your videos are, no matter how shit your business idea is, do it. Start it. That is my biggest advice. And you'll be surprised that some people might have a breakthrough first time doing things. Some people might have to wait 6 months until they get a breakthrough. Some people might have to make even more than that, or however long it takes. Just because someone's done it quicker than what you're going to do it in doesn't mean that you're not as successful as them. It takes time, and again, it's just keep doing you, and don't change because of other people doing it a specific way and they're successful of it. You can be specific in your own unique way.
Fully agree.
It just takes time, and it's just everyone's. The beauty of this planet and world and everything is everyone's fucking different.
And it's like I used to think that was bullshit, but it's literally true. Like just the conversations I've had through this, it's like people actually have such unique ideas, and it's like people think in different ways, and like the way people reach different conclusions, like that shit fascinates me. But fully agree. Where would be the main places that people can find you? This is basically where you can just pimp yourself. Where can people find you? Your YouTube, your coaching, your website if you have one, all that sort of stuff.
If you just type in George Osborne on YouTube, I hopefully should be the first person that pops up on there, my channel. My Instagram's my Snapchat. I don't really use Snapchat as much anymore. I'm more Instagram based. Is George Osborne 12. If you're into coaching or anything like that, it's georgeosbornecoaching@gmail.com. I used to have a website, which was George Osborne Coaching, but I took that down because when I was at uni at the time, I was trying to save myself a little bit of money, I'll be honest with you. And I thought, fuck it, I'll take it down, but I could just redo that whenever I need to. But that's georgeosbornecoaching.com if anyone gives a fuck in the future.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Student Side Hustle. I would appreciate so much if you would leave a review if you'd like to hear more of what I'm saying. Then I would love if you would follow me on Instagram or check out my other social media, all linked in the show notes. And again, I would just like to say thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful evening and study hard.